This is the second of my videos concerning an injured spirit. Yes, I was just saying that I grew up in places where you would find a mother living alone without a husband for some reason. But it was very rare in my community where I grew up. It was very rare, but these things do happen. And the behavior of this mother towards other married women who have husbands was a bit like full of unease, because for some reason she would feel like someone who has failed in life. As during those years when I was growing up, it was important for a family to have a mommy and a daddy and children. So if she was all alone all the time, it would be a bit of a problem. An injured spirit is very hard to counsel. That's why people should never try to get married until an injured spirit is dealt with. Meaning, when somebody has been through some kind of trauma, a traumatic experience, not necessarily because one caused it, but if the experience was traumatic so much that one does not want to talk about it, or even tell a single family member, or tell anyone, or tell a friend or anyone, keep it in your heart and it happened to you, and you keep it in your heart. Never share it with anyone. Actually, no person to share confidentiality. Here you get someone you want to be grounded as a wife and things, and you still have that thing not divulged, and you think you're going to deal with it. Such a thing could end up destroying a very innocent person who does not know how to handle you, because something which is unfortunate which happened to you and you never told anybody is now affecting this other person who does not know how to handle you, because the behavior of someone who has gone through some traumas in life is very different. You have to know how to handle things like that. To misrepresent oneself as someone who is happy and normal and no problems at all, and you say all other past things, everything that happened in the past, you say in a jovial manner, then your other partner accepts it and understands it, because people do go through things, and you admit this and this, and you say, oh, this happened, and this, you say everything else except that. Accept that very only thing. You don't say it only for the innocent person to be told by the police after being arrested that this is what happened in the past of that person, and now you are a problem because your behavior towards her is equal, or it triggers the injuries sustained in the past that you were not told about. And because you think you're dealing with a normal person. With a normal person, because I call my partner, my. In Africa, we have a different attitude towards it. My partner, my wife, my child, different attitude towards it. You know, if you go to a garage, I'm just giving this as an analog. If you go to a garage and buy a car and it says on the clock 200 miles, this is a new car. It has only been driven for 200 miles. The way you drive that car in the highway with other cars in the highway is very different from a car that you would buy from a garage marked 70,000 miles. You would be careful about that car, which you reach 70,000 miles, because you don't know how the suspension, the front suspension, the bearings, the engine itself, you don't know exactly. So you have to be careful. It has traveled 70,000 miles, so you have to be careful about your speed, your controls, and everything. You have, if you have honest information, you would know how to handle it. For you to handle a car which is on the clock says 200 miles and yet it has traveled 70,000 miles could cause for your death. It could cause your death. You could die because the way you handle it is different. You have belief that it has traveled 200 kilometers and yet it has traveled 70,000 kilometers. You are likely to cause an accident. If you caused it and you killed someone, you could go to jail. And if it were found out in court that you were of belief that this car had 200 miles on the clock, meaning that it is new, and this car in reality had traveled 70,000 because the garage misrepresented its history, the court would have something different. It would find where the problems are. In the same manner, in the world that we live in today, people apply for jobs. A human being, an adult, you apply for a job and they ask you if you have any criminal record or if there's anything to disclose which could affect your performance at work or the manner the company should entrust trust in you, should invest trust in you. You have to tell the truth. Even if you had a criminal record, it is wise to tell the truth because it will help you in the future if there is a problem in the company. So being honest is everything. That's why I always tell people that I'm a son of a pastor, advised to be honest all the time. I teach my children to be honest all the time. Not being honest is golden because it serves, it helps. It actually helps. It's good even for you. Doesn't matter what happened, but if you are honest, people will understand. The person that you want to spend life with will understand how to handle you. Now, after all this had happened to me, I'm going back to the past and say, oh, so this thing, I did it like this. This person was actually in this state of mind. Because questions I really asked myself. Why is she different? Things which happened and were never told and now affect me and affect my children, my 3 children, affect our state. Now my children can say mommy and daddy, and they have it emanates from there because I didn't have that very key information which makes somebody different from all other people. That key information, psychological information, which is important, by being honest. Misrepresentation, actually, to be honest, in the future, the laws should look at it, because it's not always about criminal. It's also things like trauma, psychological trauma. If you witnessed someone dying in front of you, that could be traumatic to you, and it would be nice to tell your new partner to say, I always have this thing in my dreams, I saw someone dying. I'm just giving an example of how trauma works. Your partner would know how to handle you, would know how to help you, would know how to be therapeutic in other matters, and would know when to keep quiet about other things, and would know what not to say to you, because he always will. If he loves you, that's what he would do. But if you do not tell him, you would think that he does not love you, because he reciprocates. You know what you do? He will reciprocate exactly at the same length, trying to correct you. And yet what the reciprocation itself is wrong, because you do what you do, what he calls wrong, because of that traumatic thing which happened to you in life. So if he doesn't know, he will reciprocate the wrong way, and that family you're trying to build will never happen. So being honest, that which we were taught by mommy and daddy at home when we were 6 years, 5 years, being honest at all times is important, not only for women, for men also. If I hid very intricate things to somebody that I say I love, if I say I love her, I have to tell her everything. I think I have told her everything. She knows. That's why she even knew how to punish me, how to get them to punish me, things which are very painful to me. Told them how to punish me, because she knew everything. I told her. I was honest. I come from an honest family, son of a pastor, told to be honest all the time. The devastation to the entire world by injured spirits has become unbearable. Many men end up in prisons. In most cases, they'll be trying to live a normal life with an injured spirit who has fundamental secrets from the past mated on the wrong man, on an innocent man, a man who does not know anything, thinks it's daylight, a man who thinks he's happy, it's a daylight, is happy. Before the City Council of Swans and its agencies took my partner to advise her to criminalize me, I saw life as a clear, happy sunlight in the blue sky. I saw life as a happy experience with my children and my partner. No problem at all. We didn't have any problem. The only problem I learned there was when the injured spirit had gathered together and agreed that I must be punished without even being told. But it was a team of angry, injured spirits together. My partner was different on that day, very different. She never even told me anything at that time. Never told me anything. Injured spirits. We all have spirits as human beings, but we discuss these things with many people, and normal spirit, anger and things like that get solved easily. But one that is injured is a problem. In the older world, our mothers were required to be honest, obedient wives. Our fathers were required to be industrious, caring husbands who protect their wives and their children. Man is the head of the family. That's what we grew up knowing. Man is the head of the family. If a man gets lost, the family gets lost. If a man is incapable, the family becomes incapable. There were roles that a man was expected to play and the roles which the woman was expected to play. And these roles were not subject to any compromise. It is this new generational and experimental phase of life which is difficult to navigate. And the roles, the wrongs and rights are shifted from one position to another every day. You never would know what is right to do or what is wrong to do. And once you got something wrong, that's the end. Like on the day I was arrested and removed from the family, I did not know that I was not allowed to ask my partner not to wear something. I did not know that. It's a very serious thing. It's a very serious thing in this country. You can't tell your partner not to wear something. This actually means if she decides to put on her bra and her panties and walk with you, or very transparent one, those are transparent ones in this country. If she decides to do that, wear something which is as transparent as a plastic bag, as long as she's wearing it, and she says, let's go, you are not allowed to say, no, I can't go with you like this. It is her choice. That's country, that's civilization. Whatever she's wearing, you are not allowed. I didn't know that until my family was destroyed over that fact, that dress she was wearing. I didn't know. She went on to claim many other things, but which she was told. Actually, it was not her talking. You'll be shocked to hear that it was the injured women telling the police that he does this. Injured women, talking on her behalf, representing her. They know me better than her. She told us he does this. At one point, just imagine, one of the injured women surprised my partner because she said to my partner, "Oh, you told me that you didn't want children." So what does that mean? She told me, my partner, that she was shocked when that injured woman said to her that she, my partner, had told that injured woman that she didn't want children. You see, they bring these opinions and say, you told us that you didn't want children. When that happens, if she had accepted and said yes, they were going to check all the children. They were going to take all the children and say, "Oh no, these children were born under duress because she told us that," because they had seen how gullible she is. You could say anything. She comes from Africa and she believes that whatever is said by white is correct. So they had seen how gullible she is. They would tell her to say this and she would say it. Tell her to say this or suggest that, "Oh, doesn't he do this? Doesn't he do this?" And she would say yes, yes. But that one, at least, I don't know, for some reason, she found it to be too much. Tell the police that you didn't want children. Then in 2008, it's 2020 today. Then in 2008, you didn't want children. This man here forced you to have all these 3 children. Injured spirits and their influence in the world. Now they say they are going to make a law in court that you cannot even question her. You cannot even question her. She can say anything. She can say, "I didn't want the children. He forced me." That's it. You can't question. They say, imagine the law. They want it to be put in law. She would say that, and you just don't do anything. In the old world where I grew up, where I was born, we used to believe in the word my. The word my brought some sense of possession. If somebody wanted to speak to my wife, that individual would need to seek my permission to speak to my wife. There was a sense of possession in the olden world where I was born, not this modern one. That my has got a different meaning now. Different meaning. You do not own a rented car. You don't say my car when it's rented. Get into a house and you find a seat there, and they give you to sit there on that chair, and you say, "Oh, my chair." That's what it means, my chair. It's you don't even own the house. You haven't even paid for the chair. It's your chair because you're sitting on it at that time, but actually it's not your chair. So that my, which we used to take in another context in the old world where I was born, is very different today. And I believe in the future, this word my will be punishable by law. If you say somebody, "My wife," I'm sure in the future, the way these injured spirits, association of injured spirits, these divorce manufacturer, these angry women whose lives were destroyed by men in their past lives, and they gathered together to say the experiences of how they were beaten and kicked and stabbed and kicked out of houses by aggressive men, and now they see every human being who lives with a man as being someone who lives with a dangerous thing that must be removed and separated to free the woman. That's exactly what is happening in the world. They go around hunting for people and they have even opened businesses, and they got access to large amounts of money from the state. So if they find your wife and have a conversation with her, and surely if if she is girly like my partner, and they find that she is easy to convince, and she is shakeable from that relationship where she is, and they entice her with a large amount of money, which are really not resistible. She would be gone. In the old world, where speech was free, we used to have books like called Student's Companion. You would find adages like, the biggest enemy of a woman is another woman. Time will come in the future, in the very near future, because of the amount, the power of these injured spirits, these divorce manufacturers. Time will come when the tables will change. Everything that was done under a lie will face the wrath of the law, and those who caused it would end up in jail. Because I think they've destroyed so many families by enticing gullible wives, enticing them with large amounts of money and instant, unquestionable wealth of lies to say against a man in exchange for money. And they also get business. She will gain and they will gain. It's a business, but one that will affect you as the man, and in the later life affect her as a failed wife, and certainly the burden rests on the children. Each and every children by name will suffer much more heavier than either mommy or daddy, because she will carry it all her life. The example she has been given: destroyed family life, destroyed by money and lies from injured spirits. As for me, I love my mother. Just to let you know that my mother is a woman. As for me and all the people I know in the world, all the men I know in the world, I love my sisters. Just to let you know that our sisters as men are women. As for me, as a father with 2 daughters, I cannot swap the love for my daughters for anything else. I love my daughters. By the way, my daughters are women. I am a man who intends